my YouTube channel. My name is Daniela, and if you're new here, I make upcycling videos, also outfits from scratch and some basic tutorials for sewing. In this video, we will be seeing how did I make this flare bustier dress using a sari that I got from Amazon. I will add the link of the sari in the description box below in case you want to check that out. To make this bustier, I have used ready-made cups. You should find cups of your exact size, not smaller or not bigger. In case you don't find the cup of your perfect size, you can find 80% coverage, that is still fine. But don't go for below 80% coverage. If you get a full coverage cup, it is much better. The one that I have used is 80% coverage because I did not find full coverage cups. So up to you if you want to use 80% or 100% coverage cup. Also, there are other things like attaching eyelets or adding boning, which I have covered in other tutorial. I will add a link of that tutorial in the description box below. Also, it will pop up here in case you want to check that out. I have tried to cover everything in this tutorial, but in case you have questions, please write them in the comment section below and I will try to answer or create a video about the same. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Now, without any further delay, let's get into the video. Okay, so I will be using these cups, but before that I have taken in my pattern the bust line, the under bust line and the waist line. Okay, my shoulder to bust measurement is 9.5, shoulder to under bust is 12, shoulder to waist is 15. Okay, now I will be using the ready-made cups, so it will, I will be keeping them like this. However, I don't want them to look like round bust. So what I will be doing is you see I have marked here some measurements. So my cups will look like this basically. Okay, and I'm just going to cut this extra piece. Okay, I can tell you what is the measurement. Okay, this is like ½ inch and 1 inch extra, so it's like this much. Okay, and I need to do the similar thing for this one as well. So I'm just going to keep this one on this. So I'm just going to take this and mark the point 1/6, and then I'm going to okay, so it's going to be like okay, and then once you know that, just go ahead and cut it. Because I will take this and I'll just go ahead and cut my piece. So this is how my cup is going to look like. Okay, you can do the similar thing for the other side as well. Okay, now just do one thing, keep them side by side to see if they are correct. See, there is a difference here, so I'm just going to make sure that there won't be any difference. Okay, this is it, and also on the other side. Okay, and then I will take this one and keep this one under this one. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, it looks fine. Yeah. So now the cups are ready. Now, okay, now what you have to do is, I'm going to mark here a point at ½ inch. So I'm going to mark a point at ½ inch. Okay, and then I will keep my cup in such a way that it will touch the under bust line, but also this ½ inch. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see, but it should also be around this ½ inch. Okay, so yeah, like this. Now, using this, we will be keeping our measurement. Whatever is your bust measurement, you have to take that bust measurement. So I'm going to keep it like this around the cup. Okay, around the cup, and then mark that point. Okay, so I have marked the point. Okay, again I'll just keep it because you will need it. Okay, so that is done, and this point also you will need. Okay, so I'm just going to trace my bust around this one. So it's going to be like this. Okay, what you can do is you can also make it like a straight line and then connect it. Okay, this part anyway we don't need. This part is something that we will be needing. Now I do need my armhole curve, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw my armhole. So I think this is 6. Then I'm just going to come down a little by 7.25 and then extend it. Okay, so basically I want it to be a straight line now. It's fine, okay, whatever it is, it's just going to be a straight line. So I'm just going to make sure that this is going to be a straight line. Wait, yeah, so now I will be doing it like this. And now what I will do is this part here. Okay, this is how you have to join it, but now you have to join whatever is your waistline. Just mark that point. So mine is going to be 6. If I put that waistline here, I can just go ahead and join it. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and join my waistline to it. You just have to go ahead and cut the pieces, and this is going to be on fold. Okay, now before we continue, I'll just go ahead and add the seam allowance as well. Okay, on the sides I'm going to keep the seam allowance as ½ inch. So this is going to be ½ inch seam allowance. Okay, and then join the points. That here also I'm going to keep it as ½ inch seam allowance. So but on this curve I'm just going to keep 1 centimeter of seam allowance. Okay, okay, and then here also I'm going to mark ½ inch of seam allowance. Just going to extend this line here, and that's it. Okay, at the bottom also I need to add ½ inch of seam allowance. So I'm going to add ½ inch of seam allowance. Okay, so this is the pattern which is done. Okay, now we need to draft the back pattern as well. Okay, so this is the front pattern which I'm going to use, and I'm going to keep this fabric here like this. This is the folded fabric, okay, fold side, which is straight. So I'm going to keep it here like this, and I'm just going to, so now I'm just going to trace this part. Okay, and if you want you can add a zip, but I don't want to add a zip, so I'm just going to extend it. And this is also going to be like a little bit downwards. Okay, a little bit downwards. So if you see, I think I've been 1 inch down or something. So this is like 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch down. Now this is going to be your back pattern. Okay, now just go ahead and cut this piece. So these are like 4 layers that I have taken, and this side is on fold. Okay, here I am going to mark the measurement and then there is going to be a circle there. So let's start with this measurement. So this is going to be a full circle skirt. That's why the measurement would be your waistline divided by 6.28. I get it around 3.9, so I will go ahead and mark it. Once you have marked the curve, go ahead and measure it. It should be 1/4 of your waist measurement. Then you need to mark similar curve at the length of the dress that you want. I have marked it at 38 from the tip, 38 inches. Once you have marked it, go ahead and cut it. You have to do the similar process for the lining fabric as well, but lining fabric is going to be half circle skirt. So the measurement would be your waistline divided by 3.14. I get it around 8. Now for your cups, what you need to do is you need to take the measurement between your bust and under bust. Okay, so for me the difference is 2.5 inch, and I will take half inch for seam allowance, so 3 inches. Okay, and then I will take a square. This is double of 3, which is 6 point something, and yeah, 6 point something square. So I will fold it into 4 parts and then I will mark here 3 inches everywhere. So I'll go ahead and mark this 3 inches. So I'm just going to keep a little extra while cutting. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and open it. Okay, so now you have your horizontal lines. On these horizontal lines, I'm going to mark half inch on both the sides. And this is the middle point, right? So what I will do is I'm going to connect this point with this one. Connect it like this. Okay, and the same thing I will do here as well. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and cut it. Now you remember for the cup we removed half inch from the top, so I'm just going to mark that half inch and I'm going to remove it. Even if you don't do it, it's fine because we will be removing the extra part later. So this is it. Now go ahead and cut the pattern pieces. So I have cut the pieces here. You need 2 of each of the pattern because you have 2 cups. But for the lining I have cut 4 pieces because my fabric is see-through. So the cup will be visible. That's why I have cut 2 pieces of lining. So with the main fabric I will attach the lining fabric, and then I have also marked the notches, which is the midpoint. Then I will connect those notches or align those notches and pin them together. I will also do the same for the lining fabric as well. Then once you have stitched it, it will look like this. Now for the good finishing, you need to press the seam open, but since it's a curved seam, what I will do is I will take the fabric and on top of that I will keep my cup, and then I will keep this fabric which I have just joined, and then I will iron it. Do it for the main fabric and also for the lining fabric. Also press it on the right side also, like this. Now once that is done, take your main fabric and attach it to the cup. So pin it all the sides and then take it to the sewing machine and stitch it. stitch around the cup. So once you have stitched it, it will look like this. So you see you have excess fabric, just go ahead and remove the excess fabric. Once you have removed it, it will look like this. Then take your lining fabric and keep it on the cup, right sides facing each other, and then stitch the top part. Then you will also have to top stitch it, and then it will look like this. You have to go ahead and also stitch the lining fabric around the cup. After doing that, you will have excess fabric. Just go ahead and cut that as well. Now take your front bodice part and keep them like this. So I will be having two lining pieces, okay, because I also don't want the boning to be visible. So this is going to be my main fabric with lining and another lining. So I will keep the right sides facing each other, and I'll go ahead and stitch the top part, not the curve, only the top part. Once you have stitched it, it will look like this. Turn it to the right side and iron it. Later we will be attaching the cups like this. Now take the back pattern piece and keep the right sides facing each other of the lining fabric and of the main fabric and stitch the top part. Now I have kept the front bodice like this, and I will take the back bodice and keep the right sides facing each other of the main fabric and of the lining fabric and stitch the sides. Now take the cups and keep it like this, and then switch it on the right side facing each other and pin them. Okay, pin them on all the sides on the curves. It should not be that difficult. Also don't forget that we have taken the seam allowance as 1 centimeter, not half an inch. So take that seam allowance into account and pin it, and then take it to the sewing machine and stitch it. Do it for both the cups. Next, I need to trim the excess fabric. So for that, I will align the joints of lining fabric and the main fabric, and then cut out the excess fabric from the bottom like this. Also cut the lining fabric or the main fabric which is in excess on the sides. Now for the back corset pattern, I don't want it to be a straight line, I want it to be a sloped line. So for that, I will align the back pieces and keep them in such a way that they are aligned properly. And then I will go ahead and cut fabric like this. You can keep it as it is, it's fine. Later we will be adding boning, so I will just draw the lines on which I will be adding channels for boning. I will not be adding boning on the middle part, but I have still done the markings. Then we will go ahead and stitch the sides. So I have turned it on the wrong side, so right sides are facing each other, and then I will pin it. I will do it on both the sides and then take it to the sewing machine and stitch it. Once you have done it, it will look like this. Now you have to turn it on the right side and make sure that you will iron it. Ironing will make sure that you are getting a good finishing on both the sides. Now I forgot to add straps, so I have taken the fabric of 3 inches in width and I will create straps like this. And to add them, I will go ahead and remove the stitching that I had done, which is just next to the cup. Okay, so I have created a hole here for inserting the strap. So I'll insert the strap here and then go ahead and stitch it. I could have added the strap when I was stitching the lining fabric and the main fabric of the bodice, but I forgot then, so I am doing it now. Do it on both the sides and then stitch it. Then you can see I have created channels here at the back of the corset. There are 3 channels. The middle one is for eyelets and the other 2 are for bonings. I have also created channels on the two sides and in the front. I have not created a channel in the middle. You need to go ahead and add boning and eyelets. This was already covered in one of the videos, so I will add the link of that video in the description box below. Now let's move on to the skirt. I have stitched the sides of the skirt. This is the main fabric that I have stitched one side of. And my main fabric was a little bit longer than my lining fabric on the waistline. So I will be creating some gathers, not a lot because it was only 1 inch extra. So I will just create some gathers on my main fabric in the middle. Now it's time to attach the main fabric with the lining fabric. So it's just the basting stitch that I will be doing. So I will be aligning the midpoints of both the fabrics and then go ahead and stitch them. Just a basting stitch so that they will stay together. Now before we attach it to the bodice, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and add a zip. I have created a separate video about how to add a zip and I will add the link of that video in the description box below. So go ahead and add a zip on the other side and stitch the rest of the fabric. Once you have done it, it will look like this. Now we will go ahead and attach our skirt to the bodice. So for that, I will go ahead and mark the midpoint of the bodice or the bustier. And I will also mark the midpoint of the skirt. And then mark that point and then align these 2 points, the midpoints of the bodice and the midpoint of the skirt, and then pin them together. And then go ahead and pin the whole front part, not the back part because I have not kept the back part as attached. So I will only pin the front side and then stitch it. It will look like this. After that, I still need to do the finishing of the back part because I did not stitch it, so I will go ahead and do the finishing of it. For that, I have taken this rectangle and I will put it on the right sides facing each other. You can see how I have done it at the corner. That is for the finishing. Okay, I will show you again. I'm turning it on the other side as well and then go ahead and stitch it. It will look like this once you have stitched it. I will remove the excess fabric. You need 2 inch maximum. Now I will twist it twice. Since the fabric is same as that of the main fabric, it is fine if it's visible. Okay, so I will turn it twice and then I'll go ahead and pin it. But you have to make sure while you are turning it, it will not block the eyelet. Okay, you have to stitch it in a way that it will not block the eyelet. And once you have done it, the only thing that is remaining is the finishing of the back part. You can wear and see the dress if it is fitting properly. If it is loose, then you can also attach elastic on the back and then twist it once or turn it once for stitching. So the back part is also done. After that, for finishing, I have used the rolled hem for the finishing of the bottom skirt, both the skirts, the lining as well as the main skirt. You can use the tiny hem technique as well, up to you. And once you have done that, your dress is ready.